Good evening. My name is Charlie. I have a box of video games, and we're going to take a look at them, talk about them, look at some prices, maybe some footage of them. I bought these off Facebook Marketplace, and I'll tell you how much I paid for them at the end. So, first game. Looks like it is. Oh, it's going to be worth nothing, and I don't know where I'm putting games. I'll put it right there. It is Star Wars Battlefront, the first one, Deluxe Edition. This is going to be worth, like, literally nothing. Um, I recall having a good opinion about it when it launched. I think I got it for free on, like, PS Plus or something. Um, Excuse me. Oh, that is great, great, great stuff right there. Battlefront 1, Star Wars. Let's do it. Okay. Great start. UPCs it is. When this came out, this actually got a really good ratings, even though it was just multiplayer, no single player whatsoever. It might have had like a co-op mode where you're just going through single player bot matches. Um, I enjoyed it, but I actually really enjoyed the second one. But people were so up in arms about pay to win, star card stuff that they looked over it. I thought they did a good job with the single player in the second one. Looks like this one is. Oh my gosh, I am so sorry. $5, which is a absolute stretch. I don't believe it's worth that, especially once they shut the servers down. It will probably be worth a coaster, but I have it, and the box art is really cool. Box art was really cool for all those games. So next up, I would like a Battlefront 3. You know what? Let's finish it off. Let EA take their final crack at it. It can just be some all-encompassing game. It doesn't need to be as big as like the Lego Star Wars complete series, but just let them not be attached to a movie and just let them go for it. I think that'd be really cool. Next up, excuse me, Sleepy Baby is the Evil Within 1 for Xbox One. Multi-platform game released by Bethesda before this came out before Microsoft bought them, so it's on multiple consoles. It actually does have a manual, which is a straight up shock, and the manual's in full color. Survival horror game. I have never played it or its sequel. The developer of this, Tango Gameworks, they shadow dropped a game on Game Pass today. I forgot Hi-Fi something. I played it on streaming through the Game Pass because I didn't want to download it, and I think it threw off the timing enough because it's a rhythm-based action game that I wasn't able to get past the tutorial. But it has a cool image. I'm glad it exists. From the little bit I played it, the feeling of it didn't feel super great, but maybe once you get in tune with the music, it's a little bit better. I don't know if I will ever play this. Enter the Mind of a Madman. I I think the reception on these was like really hit or miss. I think the second one kind of turned people around on it. We'll see if they finish off the trilogy. They did Tokyo Ghostwire, and I don't know how successful that was either. It's yet to come out to Xbox. I will give it a shot once it does, as I am a loyal Game Pass subscriber. Speaking of Game Pass subscribers, we have a Call of Duty game, Call of Duty Ghosts. I had this at one point. I only played a little bit of the multiplayer in it. Very bad might have the reputation as the worst Call of Duty game, and I'm not sure. Um, the disc scratching doesn't quite matter as much on these because they all install the hard drive, and actually Blu-rays are pretty resilient. Uh, Call of Duty Ghosts. Uh, I don't believe it's not tied to any of the series, and this was Infinity Ward, so this is what they did after Modern Warfare, and it was just kind of a flop. Also, that generational timeline, it was fully released for 360 and Xbox One, and yeah, bad reputation. I am curious as to whether this Activision deal is going to go through. I have a feeling it will, but it's been really painful, and at this point, I don't know if there's like a poison pill that they have to eat if the deal doesn't go through. But $69 billion is a big chunk of change, and money's a lot harder to come by even when you're Microsoft these days, as they've just laid off 10,000 people. So, but if it does go through, I'm assuming the Call of Duty games will be free on Game Pass, and that'll be cool. Just to have all those. Because I like a Call of Duty campaign. Nothing I'd play exclusively. This game I own digitally. I have very good feelings about. No, I own this game digitally. I did not finish it, and I was excited for it. But I had Battlefield 1, which I played through. Battlefield 5, I was excited for it and just fell off it really quick. I don't even know if I finished one of the campaigns. So, Battlefield 1 was very well received. Battlefield 5, I don't think it was. I think it kind of flopped a little bit. But they did the thing with the single player, which, of course, me, nerd, talking about single player Battlefield. But they did like 5 mini campaigns. I think that's really smart. Where you can pick up and go, and like if something really resonates with you, you can play that 2 hour chunk and then be done with the rest of it. Lets them use their multiplayer maps as single player assets a little bit easier because you can hop around and stuff. I think part of the problem with this is they didn't have all of the single player done when the game came out. That wasn't my problem with it because I bought when it was like $8, or I bought it in a box of video games now. But we'll see. I mean, Battlefield 2 and Battlefield 4 were really the peaks of that series. I really enjoyed Battlefield Hardline. As you can tell, I'm sick and tired right now, so I apologize. Battlefield Hardline was a cool attempt. Of course, it happened when a bunch of the bad cop stuff hit a critical mass. But I thought they were doing cool stuff, and I hope they keep making Battlefield games and keep trying single player something or others. 2142 did not have a single player. Hey, kitty. Oh, my cat's here. You can say hi. Oh, this is my cat. Her name is Nora. I get mad at her because she only hangs out when the kids are in bed, and I really need her to entertain my children. So there's that. So a lot of bro games are going to be in this box, and I haven't looked up a single rating here or done what I was going to do with the trailers. So let's look it up real quick. Evil within Xbox One. Looks like we got a $7. That I don't think I could get that. Call of Duty Ghosts. $7.25. $7. Battlefield 5. $7. These prices are not realistic. Maybe half of that if I'm lucky. So I won't be selling these. And Battlefield is also on Game Pass because of the partnership they have with EA Play. I'm wondering if they're going to keep that going once they hit a certain number, or if they'll flip to Ubisoft, or if they'll do something else. It also seems like PlayStation is doing the Ubisoft thing. All the older Ubisoft games are going on there, so be interesting to see how it goes. There's nothing really Microsoft that I'm looking for, or EA that I'm looking for. I've done the Mass Effect stuff. So we'll see. All right. Next up, we have Call of Duty 3. Black Ops 3. I only played like the first or second level of this for a brief period of time before the Black Ops 4 came out. It was free on PlayStation as like a gift to people, not even a PlayStation Plus game. And the guy from Law and Order was in it, so that's cool. I forgot his name, but disc looks good. Feel free to redeem this QR code. That is for Nuketown bonus multiplayer map, and this was a purchase from GameStop. It is curious that the Black Ops 3 really has nothing to do with Black Ops 1 and 2, which were very well received. And it seems like they could have extended that a little bit further on. They might have some very limited connections, but this is complete future stuff like psychic abilities and stuff like that. And yeah, they made a choice. I think it sold well, um, and I believe it sold better than our next game, which is look at that really quick. Call of Duty Black Ops 3 Xbox One. Xbox One 1060, big money. Alright. Next up, we have Call of Duty Black Ops 4. So this one, they tried to say that the single player was like in part of multiplayer. Um, and that's totally not accurate. They just didn't have a single player. But what they did have was Blackout, which is still running, but Warzone replaced the Battle Royale, made it bigger, and made it free to play. So it's curious. I mean, I guess they got the kinks out on a paid product instead of a free product. Um, I wonder if anybody's playing that. Um, but yeah, Battle Royale, I think it was like 60 people up front, and now it's Modern Warfare. Like, I think I saw a 200 player mode, which is nuts. Yeah, multiplayer and zombies. Um, Never been a zombies person. I'd much rather play like a Left 4 Dead than this. But if I had a good crew, I mean, it'd probably be just as good as a horde mode. Uh, Again, I like the bombastic campaigns on these, if anything, and then I'll hop into multiplayer. The only real Call of Duty multiplayer that I was like really into was Call of Duty Mobile for a bit. I was kind of in between consoles. They did a really good job with that. The microtransactions are egregious, but I had a good time with it. And how they made it work on mobile is you don't shoot. Like, you just have to aim it, and the thing will shoot on its own for their standard the standard way you control it, which I thought was really cool. And I was really effective, and I'm sure I was only killing bots, but winning player of the game as someone who's not good at video games made me feel good. All right, so I bet this is worth nothing. Black Ops 4. Black Ops 4 Xbox One, $9. No way. So recent Call of Duty games, I think probably the last. Come on, get me in focus, come on. There we go. Recent Call of Duty games, they're all from the same front end, which it's made it really messy because you'd like download a game that you don't own just to get Modern Warfare, the Warzone, or vice versa. I had a hard time installing the first Modern Warfare reboot because I just wanted to play the campaign, and I went over a data cap and got charged like $15 because the download is like 200 gigs. It's absolutely ludicrous, and it wants to download everything. But you can piece it mealed off, but it's so complicated, it's tough, and it took me like 6 attempts to get the game to download, like fully, so I can play it. It was a good game, but I was just so frustrated. I won't even consider buying another one until they sort it out. But I love the game front end, like having that game and like it being easy to like slot in, like especially if you own different ones of them or if there's free to play elements. That's really cool, not having to switch games. And it kind of goes into like the Netflix effect where like people don't like to switch apps. So like they'll watch something like that might have been like their second or third choice on Netflix instead of like going over to like Paramount Plus or HBO Max. Even if they own those, they just don't want to leave the app. I totally get it. And it's all about like average time in the game per user so they can push that to their people. And the more you have someone hooked in, the more likely they are to give you money, even if they're not going to give you money for microtransactions. So but if they do that better and find a way to just get that file size down, and the solution is not selling cosmetics, which they'll never do, they'd be in a really cool position because you'd love to just be able to go digitally, just have this library of all your Call of Duty games. That'd be tight. And then save a couple gigs by uninstalling the campaigns or whatever. Next up, a game I own physically, and I'm a defender of this game. Straight up defender of Halo 5. The campaign is kind of trash, but it's fun. I mean, if you don't pay attention to the story and don't mind playing a non-Master Chief for most of the game, it's fun. Very multiplayer, very like squad focused because you're always rolling with a crew of 4, which makes things like not as Halo-y because it's kind of like being alone, especially in Infinite, like you were alone for a lot of it. Um, the bad guys they introduced in Halo 4 are garbage. I'm trying to think of who they are. That mechanical force. No, not Guardians. They are terrible. Grunts, those are my dudes. The Covenant, those are my guys. So they had a little bit of them too. Um, when this launched, there was a 4 or 6 episode TV show, and John Locke was played by the guy who became Luke Cage on Netflix, and he's in a show called Evil now. I really like him. Okay, all right, this is funny. Um, and then I think he got recat or he got a better job, so he didn't actually make the game, but he was like in the prequel TV show. Which where did that go? How can I watch that now? And then you open it up and you're delighted to see Call of Duty World War II, which I actually own, which means I gotta go back through this and make sure Call of Duty. That's right. I think every time I've done this, I've had a pleasant or unpleasant surprise on what's actually in the box. I don't think we're gonna be successful here. Ghosts. Give me my Halo. Evil Within. I'm just gonna open one of these. It's gonna be like a bag of weed. All right. So I guess Call of Duty World War II. Let's see what's worth more. Let's see if I made some money or not. Halo 5. Halo 5, Xbox One, $6. All right. Call of Duty 2, Xbox One. Looks like it's worth 60 cents more, so raise it. All right, we're continuing through Halo 5. People have told me they've really nailed the multiplayer and like made it very esports friendly, like smaller maps, that sort of thing, which is fine. That's not why I play Halo. But the Warzone mode, I put a ton of time in that. It's like a horde mode, but it's kind of competitive, kind of not. Loved it. So that was really cool. So next up is a game I've never played. Bomberman R. Um, ugh. And then it's got some weird white crap on the back of it. So that's great. This thing's been on everything. I believe it was a Switch launch game, and it's got some DLC in it. I guess some codes for that. I do like Bomberman. It's nothing. I don't think I'd ever like seek it out. This is the shiny edition, and they originally paid $14.95 for it at GameStop. Maybe it was like a buy two get one weekend or something like that. So get on your GameStop making money. Looks like there's an Xbox exclusive Master Chief guy, so that's cool. Is he like one of these DLC guys? Nope. Cool. I don't know if I'll ever play this, but can't go wrong with Bomberman. I remember Dreamcast had a really good version of Bomberman. Oh, they got other Konami characters. That's cool. Dreamcast had a good version of Bomberman, like right before the system stopped having games. It was Bomberman Online. Saturn had a 10-player version of Bomberman, which this has up to 8. Sega Saturn can do 10. Why can't you do 10? So that'd be cool. Stadia, which we were playing last week, Stadia had a version of this game. That's a good place for it. Yeah, Konami, the games they're making, they're just taking weird shots. But good for them. All right, that brings us to our last game, and actually, this was in the picture, and he didn't give it to me when I came to his house to pick up the Facebook Marketplace, and I had to ring the doorbell again and get his dog upset again. I noticed it like as soon as I turned around, so I came back for it. But it is Call of Duty Advanced Warfare. Actually, one of my favorite Call of Duty games. This one got kind of a bad rap too. My buddy Jason actually had the Xbox One system that was based off of this. Comes with an art book, and I got a special surprise for us at the end here. Art book of Atlas. So, near future tech, which is probably my favorite type of like fighting games. Like I want to be able to double jump. If I'm not double jumping in a game, then I'm bummed. But they got some cool stuff, but it's not like lasers. Like there's still mechanics behind this. It's not just like future magic. I recall really enjoying this game. I recall playing it with Jason a little bit. And we have the Steelbook, which is nice. Looks like it's got the season pass, which may or may not have been redeemed. I'm not super interested in checking. This is the first Call of Duty from Sledgehammer Games, and they're thanking me for helping them out and buying their first Call of Duty game. Sledgehammer Games was, I can't remember if they were created or if they poached some people from another place. And like a true gamer, they're sticking the Xbox sticker right on there. But the funniest thing on this, and this guy on the regular edition, he was like half the back of the box, is they have a big celebrity in a lot of these Call of Duty games. And for this Call of Duty game, it was a really cool choice. And I have a signed picture of this young man, this fresh Hollywood talent that they added to Call of Duty. And I found this at a Goodwill. Or no, I found this at a swap meet. And I talked him down to $5. And it's Kevin Spacey. So Kevin Spacey was the bad guy from this. He was pretty hot because he was just ending like season 2 or 3 from House Cards, which show I love. Tremendous actor. He did a great job with what he had. For being a Call of Duty guy, he was great. So that was cool. And I wonder if they've recast him. I wonder if they brought in whoever replaced him in All the Money in the World in this. But I love this type of steelbook. Like, it's the right thickness. It's not like this giant. Like, I have the Halo Infinite special edition that I got on sale, and that has like a bunch of junk that you might or might not use. I'll do an unbox on this someday. That'll actually be really fun. Like this thing, you can keep it on your shelf. You know, like you're supporting the game. The art book fits right in there. Like some Switch games and some other games, like the art book's like a little bit too big or little, and it's like, come on, man. Um, oh, we didn't look up this. I haven't wrote down like half of these. Call of Duty Advanced Warfare. Can you steal Atlas Limited Edition? Atlas Pro Edition. Atlas Pro Edition. Xbox 360. $20. Wow. Okay. If that is still the price, I might sell it. I don't know. But bunch of bro games. 5 plus 7 is 12, plus 7 is 19, plus 7 is 26, plus 10, 36, plus 9 is 45. Is that right? Yeah. Plus 6 is 51, plus 20 is 71. So allegedly I got $71 worth of games. This was originally priced, this batch of games was originally priced at $70 on Facebook, which, nah. I lowballed them, and I was like 30. And I didn't look at half the games. I saw that they weren't sports games, and I was like 30. If I can get it for under $5 each, sure. And I'm going to hold most of them and see what happens. And if anything, maybe it'll be a cool thing to give to my kids, or as I mentioned in a previous one of these, like, next time I think I'm going to get fired from my actual job, I'll start looking at prices, and I'll be pleasantly surprised by, like, one of them and sell it. It'll be a nice increase. And I still have this copy of FIFA 17 from yesterday that does not have a case yet. So I'm going to keep buying boxes of games without any research until I get an empty FIFA 17 case. And then everything will be all right with the world. So that was video games. I was gonna like show trailers of these and stuff and talk about them. But yeah. So I got World War II instead of Halo 5. And I did not get a copy of Infinite Warfare, which might be my favorite Call of Duty. Seems like in this generation, I liked everything people hated, and I wasn't into stuff people didn't like. Like, I liked Mass Effect Andromeda quite a bit. They did some new stuff. That was cool. Still janky. Call of Duty Infinite Warfare. It was good. So, we'll talk more about that. My allergies are really flaring up, and I can't stop yawning. So, thank you for dealing with this. Leave in the comments why you watched this, and what's the dumbest video game thing you've ever bought, and will you sell it to me? All right, thank you. Good day.